Hi, my name is ColdBeer and let's start with Returnal. And also I want to remind you that you can support me on coffee and, buy me potato salad if you feel generous.
This is an incredibly beautiful action roguelite bullet hell. Here, after crash landing on a weird shape-shifting world, you must search through the barren landscape of an ancient civilization for your escape. All alone you find yourself fighting for survival until death. Yours of course, again and again. When you are defeated, you are forced to restart this journey every time you die. The fun thing is that you'll discover that just as the planet changes with every cycle, so do the items at your disposal. Every loop offers new combinations, empowering you to push your boundaries and approach combat with a different strategy each time. In other words, this is roguelike, but it's not boring at all. Game is still very expensive, but if you want something brainless and beautiful, look at the mirror. Anyway, jokes aside, this is truly beautiful brainless bullet hell, although system requirements are quite high, so be sure you have them above minimum. The Ascent. This is a solo and co-op action RPG set in a distant cyberpunk world. You will be exploring a corporate-run metropolis stretching high into the sky and filled with creatures from all over the galaxy. If you like Star Wars, Firefly or Cyberpunk 2077, it's a perfect setting for your adventures. You play as a worker enslaved by the company that owns your ass and everyone else in your district as well. They are the ultimate ass holders. But one day you are suddenly caught in a vortex of catastrophic events, so you must take up arms and embark on a new mission to find out what started it all. People on Steam are saying that the game is really beautiful and fun, but kinda riddled with bugs. Although not everyone experiences these problems, the game has a bit less than 80% of positive reviews. For some it is even the best game they have ever played. I think that is an overstretch, a real overstretch, but kinda encouraging as well. Severed Steel. Here you will play as a woman named Steel. You have a prosthetic arm and you use it to navigate the levels, which adds an interesting and unique element to the gameplay. And although Steel has no arm, she's not armless, if you know what I mean. Honestly, here you'll find a huge arsenal of arms, just not arms. The game's physics engine can be a little bit wild at times, which makes for some hilarious moments when enemies get flung around like ragdolls. And with a killer soundtrack that perfectly matches the game's pace, Severed Steel is really fun to play. Whether you are a hardcore FPS fan or just looking for a casual game, I think it's worth your time. It has more than 90% of positive reviews on Steam, and that is always a proof of a good game. Riftbreaker. Here you are, the Riftbreaker, an elite scientist commando inside a powerful mecha suit.
Ooh la la!
You have entered a one-way portal to a distant planet at the far reaches of the Milky Way. You have a purpose of building up a base that will allow travels back to Earth and continue colonization. So you are tasked to construct a two-way rift back to Earth, because living on a planet without cold, refreshing beer or potato salad is painful, and that shouldn't even be a legal thing. Although you encounter a bit of a bigger problem than the absence of beer, which is monsters, thousands of them. The game itself is a hybrid between StarCraft, Diablo and Satisfactory, a really great and entertaining game. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. I really do recommend playing the first part before diving into the second one. Not because you won't understand what is happening, but because the first part is way cheaper, and it is actually a very good game that will introduce you to the characters and the world of this franchise. Anyway, if you don't care about that, or have already played it, you can jump straight into the second one. The game will explain everything, you don't need to worry about that. So here, like in the Witcher series, you won't be able to create your own character, but will have to dive into the story as Henry, a dude who went on a quest to avenge his murdered parents, and from a simple working class man became an experienced warrior. So in the second part you will shape Henry's destiny further. Go from bustling city streets to lush forest and feel the clash of steel as you slay your enemies left and right. Well, that won't be easy. The game makes you actually use your motoric skills if you want to actually slay anything and not be slain like a filthy pineapple and potato salad loving simpleton. Anyway, medieval Europe awaits you here, with all its beauty, glory and horror. No dragons, no elves, only brutal reality of the days long gone. The Shore. I have played this game while it was still in development, and I was really impressed by the grand scale of some creatures and entities that roam this Lovecraftian world. And by saying Lovecraftian, I really mean it. You will literally encounter Cthulhu himself. So basically the show is a game about the mystery of the unknown set on a forbidden island filled with horrors. You will take control of Andrew, a father searching for his lost daughter, and while doing the searching part you will awaken a cosmic horror or two. Or, you know, 4 or 7, this game is filled with them. Although keep in mind that it is not flawless. It has some bugs, some invisible walls and terrible combat. Although fighting is not the main aspect of the show, that's for sure. Anyway, for this price I can really recommend this game if you like dark stories, Lovecraftian worlds, your mother-in-law and creepy vibes in general. Also it has photorealistic graphics and looks amazing. Horizon Zero Dawn Complete Edition. This game reminds me of Witcher, but for a younger or, you know, less brutal audience, because it has somewhat similar battle mechanics, open world full of monsters, many dialogues, third-person view and so on. But here you will not find any gore, twisted creepy quests, splattering blood fountains or any nudity. Redhead will never show what she is hiding, here you will get no love affairs, no hot scenes by the waterfall, just robot dinosaurs and indigenous people. I played about 30 hours of this game a few years ago on my PlayStation. I had a great time, but I never finished it because I encountered a difficulty spike and I couldn't play anymore without loading a save game that was an hour ago. And I had no intention to do that. So be careful of the places named the Cauldron. Make sure your character level is appropriate before entering inside. Deep Sky Derelicts. It is an original combination of turn-based strategy and RPG enriched with tactical card combat and roguelike elements. Here you'll explore derelict alien ships, fight, loot and upgrade your gear, and all that is presented in a distinctive retro-futuristic comic book aesthetic style. I think that the comic style of the game is absolutely awesome, and as a fan of horror sci-fi comics, I melted in my place like a snowman in between hot boobies. People on Steam are saying that this is a really decent dungeon crawler with incredibly cool combat style. The game will take about 20 hours to beat, so it can be a nice investment into your upcoming leisure time. Star Wars Battlefront 2. Almost 90% of positive reviews, left by tens of thousands of players, is definitely proof that the game is done right. And I can confirm that. I played the game for several hours and I had a lot of fun. Although I had to stop playing because I got the game on my PlayStation and shooting with the gamepad was a real pain for me. I died way too often for my comfort zone, you know. Anyway, now I'm thinking of getting it on PC. The price is really nice, all I need is time. So this edition sold on Steam is called Celebration Edition, and along with the base game it includes all past and future updates and many other cosmetic things you don't really care to hear about if you never play the game. So here up to 40 players fight in massive battles, pilot huge array of vehicles and can even participate in space combat. Also, one thing that is really uncommon for any game released by Electronic Arts is the ability to train offline. You can do that, and only with your new knowledge you can start, you know, dying in real-time multiplayer battles. Yeah dude, don't expect to be thrown into combat with noobs like you. Everyone will have more experience than you do, but you have to collect your strength and show them who's the boss.
Probably not you. Cult of the Lamb.
This is a base-building roguelite adventure game where you play as a lamb. But instead of grazing grass all day and looking puffy and cute, you're gonna start your own cult. You will have to collect resources to build new structures, and of course you will have to perform dark rituals. But in this randomly generated world you are not the only one having a cult, so you naturally will have to destroy other cult leaders in order to gain more influence over your mindless slaves. The art is cool, the music is great, and you will find a variety of activities to do with a simple poop. What's not to love? People on Steam are saying that this game might become repetitive, but it has very positive reviews from over 40,000 players. Mass Effect Legendary Edition. This is an awesome game. Well, 3 remastered games in one remade with shiny new graphics and details. Although I must admit that the graphics of the first part are still morally old. So the more you play, the more beautiful the game gets. So don't expect miracles, these are all the games with not so fancy overhaul as Crysis franchise. First Mass Effect was released in 2007, so really long time ago. Anyway, if you like science fiction space operas, Mass Effect is one of the best there is. It has a great plot, many twisted turns of events, mysteries on every corner, giant robots, giant spaceships and giant space stations. Everything is giant here. It's also full of great characters as well, and it has about 90% of positive reviews on Steam. By buying Legendary Edition you will get all 3 remastered Mass Effect games with all the DLCs and other stuff included and remade in one huge game. Death Noodle Delivery. Guys, this is as indie as it can get. Starting from the narrative crazy setting where you play as a courier for a death noodle delivery company and ending with the price tag. You can see, it will not bankrupt you. Anyway, the city is filled with dangers and your main job is not just to deliver a pack of noodles, but also it would be nice not to die. And that won't be easy. You will upgrade your old hoverboard from a rusty ironing board to an actual killing machine, unlock new power-ups, manipulate time, and launch explosive cats. Yeah, that is your meowpon of choice. You will also talk to your neighbors, listen to their dirty stories, and browse the web for hacks and pleasure. Also, you will find a terrible secret if you survive long enough. And it's you, so you probably never know. Monster Hunter World. He'll take on the role of a hunter and slay ferocious monsters in a living ecosystem, where you can use the landscape and its diverse inhabitants to get the upper hand. You can hunt alone or in co-op with up to 3 other players, and use materials collected from fallen foes to craft new gear. There are 14 different weapons at your disposal, each with its own unique characteristics and styles of attack. Many hunters acquire proficiency in multiple types, while others prefer to attain mastery of one. Monster Hunter World has 87% of positive reviews on Steam, left by more than 200,000 players. Incredible achievement. Tyranny. In a realm where the tyrant has already won, you must decide how to reshape the world. Will you become an all-powerful dictator, or will you strengthen the pillars of a new regime? You are not a random villager here. In fact, you will wield a vast amount of power in the occupied lands. So basically, you are some kind of a Littlefinger. Just be careful to not end up like Littlefinger as well. You know, dead. Also, it's not a spoiler, Game of Thrones ended about 4 years ago. Yeah, time flies. So in Tyranny, your actions really matter, and no decision here is truly black or white.
Or Asian.
The choices here are morally obscure and will never let you out of the situation easily. People on Steam really love that this game is very detailed and the world itself feels alive and immersive. The combat might be challenging, but it is fair, since it rewards the players who take the time to strategize. Just be warned that Tyranny is more like a book. Be ready for the walls of text everywhere you go. Planet of Lana. A really beautiful platformer with hundreds of tiny details that make it pop out of the other similar projects. Here, a planet that used to be a place of undisturbed balance between human nature and animal now has become something else entirely. The disharmony that had been in the making for hundreds of years has finally arrived in the form of faceless army. But this is not a story about war. This is a story about a vibrant, beautiful planet and the journey to keep it that way. The game looks like someone crossbred Miyazaki's movies with Star Wars, and that is never a bad thing. No rest for the wicked. The game is still in early access, so it is kinda rough on the edges, but it is made by developers of Ori and the Blind Forest, so not by some rookies. So here the year is 841, and as word of the king's death echoes throughout the kingdom, the crown passes to his arrogant yet untested son. So there are some rebels wanting to cut his head off. The land is on the brink of civil war. That sucks, but it can always suck even more. So an unholy plague not seen for 1,000 years has returned as well. What a coincidence, right? So the plague sweeps across the land, corrupting everything and everyone it touches. In all this turmoil, you embark on an adventure. Well, on a task to be fair, because you are sworn to defeat the plague at any cost. Well, it's always better to be a warrior than a civilian in a war, so kudos for you. You got this. Or not. Knowing you, probably not. No offense.
Oxygen not included.
Here you'll find that scarcities of oxygen, warmth and everything else are constant threats to your colony's survival. You will guide colonists through the perils of subterranean asteroid living and watch as their population grows until they are not simply surviving but thriving. You know, like Bear Grylls in nature, except here you don't need to drink your own piss. Though you can do that if you want in real life, I'm not judging you. So here, just like in Dungeon Manager games, everything in your space colony is under your control. From excavation to resource allocation right down to plumbing and power systems. Resources will begin depleting with your first breath, so be sure to dig fast if you want to live. Your inhabitants each have different and potentially destructive ways of reacting to stress, so be sure to always keep them happy, whatever the cost, or they will all go amok and you will have to start over again. Ruina. This is a brutal action shooter set in the year of 2091 in the dark and gloomy cyber metropolis. You will play as a wild psychopath and go bananas against a corrupt system to uncover the truth and retrieve your kidnapped brother. Here you will be able to combine cybernetic reflexes, augmented tools and the arsenal of fallen foes to tear down and dismantle evil corporations, or be dismantled by them, 50-50. Game features lightning-fast combat that requires a delicate balance of overwhelming brute force and elegant strikes to overcome all manner of savage opponents. You can blast through crowds or slow down time and calmly select your points of attack before unleashing a storm of violence. People are saying that the game is naturally easy to control and is one of the best examples of the cyberpunk genre. Batman: Arkham Knight Premium Edition. Here, obviously, you will become Batman. The game comes with the introduction of the Batmobile and enhancements to signature features, such as free-flow combat, stealth, forensics and navigation. The main feature, the Batmobile, is brought to life with an original design featuring a distinct visual appearance and a full range of high-tech gadgetry. It is designed to be fully drivable throughout the game world and capable of transformation from high-speed pursuit mode to military-grade battle mode. Vehicle sits at the heart of the game's design and allows you to race the streets at high speeds and catch most dangerous villains. Batmobile also augments your abilities in every aspect, from navigation and forensics to combat and puzzle solving. People on Steam are saying that Arkham Knight looks better than most games today and is immensely fun. The reviews are around 90%. The game is great. Baba Is You. Let me start with the fact that the review score of the game is close to 100%, and it is determined by thousands of players, so the deal here is real. Baba Is You is multiple award-winning puzzle game where you can change the rules by which you play. In every level, the rules themselves are present as blocks you can interact with. By manipulating them, you can change how the level works and cause surprising, unexpected interactions. With some simple block pushing, you can turn yourself into a rock, or turn patches of grass into dangerously hot obstacles. You know, almost as hot as you, my friend. You look awesome today, never doubt yourself. The game has over 200 levels that experiment with the game's mechanics in a multitude of ways, requiring you to understand and manipulate the rules of the game and figure out devious ways to make the objects in the game world interact. Deathloop. It is a first-person shooter where two rival assassins are trapped in a mysterious time loop on a remote island, doomed to repeat the same day for eternity. Your only chance for escape is to end the cycle by assassinating 8 main targets before the day resets. Every new loop is your opportunity to change everything. You will use the knowledge you gain from each attempt to change your playstyle, so it is fair to say that it is a roguelite game and may not be appealing to everyone. Here you can choose to stealthily sneak through levels or jump into the fight. You know, guns blazing, shouting war cries and profanities. In each loop you'll discover new secrets, gather intel on your targets as well as on the island, and expand your arsenal. You will be armed with a host of otherworldly abilities and incredible weaponry, although I must warn you that the game's biggest strength is also its biggest weakness. People on Steam are saying that the game is repetitive.
Yeah, who could have thought?
Festival Tycoon. So this is a micromanagement game about building music festivals. Here you will grow your fest from a backyard bonanza into an unmissable global event. Work with bands and with various brands to build an excellent reputation and rake in the big bucks. Pick from a wide catalog of buildings and decorations to design a fest ground that is practical as well as pretty. Craft around a theme, use and create custom maps, load local music and earn nice amounts of money. Well, if I play this game, I will definitely create a Potato Salad Fest here, and it will have awesome bands such as Tenacious D, Rammstein and Foo Fighters. Although for copyright reasons they will probably be named Tenacious A, Rammstein and Foo Fighters. Anyway, with career mode, sandbox mode and even an extreme mode there is plenty of ways to play. People on Steam are saying that the game is easy to learn and fun to play for a few hours, but you will probably get bored rather quickly, so the sale is the perfect time to obtain it. Grounded. One of the smallest open-world games. You can only freely move around in your yard of several square meters. The trick is that the game follows the best traditions of famous movie
Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
And here you are literally shrunk to the size of an ant. So actually this world is vast, beautiful and dangerous place. You know, almost every predator is bigger than you. Probably a dog peeing on some flower can literally drown you in a way that you wouldn't want to be carved on your tombstone. So here we'll explore, build and survive together in this first-person full-on multiplayer survival adventure. So can you thrive alongside the hordes of giant insects fighting to survive the perils of the backyard? Well, alone probably not, but if you have some friends or a loving mother-in-law, you can play the game together and have lots of fun. The rating on Steam hovers around 90%, and that is always a sign of a good game. Lies of P. In this Souls-like game, you are a puppet who's caught in a web of lies with monsters and untrustworthy figures. You are awakened by a mysterious voice that guides you through a plagued city of Krat, a once lively place that has been poisoned by madness and bloodlust. If this description reminds you of your ex, then all good, you are half ready for the adventure. Here you will develop a unique combat style to counter your enemies by weaving together dynamic weapon combinations and activating new abilities. Lies of P is a reimagined fairy tale of Pinocchio, reinterpreted as a dark, grim narrative. You know, a Pinocchio for adults. When you lie, it's not the nose that's growing. If you add another P to the name of the game, you will understand what I have in mind. No, really, nothing like that, it's a joke. I played the demo version of the game and all I gathered was, again, that I suck at Souls-like games and I shouldn't even touch them. If you are like me, avoid this title. Few hits from big enemies and you are dead, and you will have to replay the whole chapter again. If that doesn't scare you, keep in mind that the game has around 90% of the positive review score and is probably a thing you want to try. Northgard. This is an RTS game based on Norse mythology in which you play as a clan of Vikings vying for the control of mysterious, newfound continent. In this simple strategy game you will find lots of victory conditions, atmospheric music, changing seasons and, as you can see, pretty nice art design. Also, the game has a decent campaign with a pretty good story. Sadly, as I've mentioned many times before, Northgard's AI is cheating with infinite resources and manpower, meaning that developers couldn't create really good intelligence that could win against humans on its own. Well, I know that many strategy games do not have strong AIs, but they at least try. But you never know, maybe developers were AI geniuses, but they were afraid of accidentally making Skynet. You know, being accused of making a bad AI is one thing, but being responsible for a robot uprising that destroyed human civilization? Yeah, you know, better safe than sorry. Nevertheless, Northgard is a good RTS game for a few days, or maybe more. Maybe you will fall in love with it, you know, like tapeworm falls in love with your guts. Raft. Build a raft of your dreams and sail into the ocean. That may look like the whole point and story of this game, but your mission is to survive an ocean adventure across dangerous waters, and that won't be easy. Here, trapped on a small raft with nothing but a hook made of old plastic, you awake on a vast blue ocean, totally alone and with no land in sight. With a dry throat and an empty stomach, you will have to gather debris to survive, expand your raft and be wary of the dangers of the ocean. You may play the game alone, which is perfectly fine, or with your friends if you have any. Also with creepy strangers as well. That would add to immersion, don't you think? Imagine, you are on the Titanic, it sinks and you have to share the boat with a dude who obviously thinks of killing and eating you. Immersion over 9,000, right?
So can you cannibalize your friends here?
Well, sadly no. Even if you are very hungry, you will have to eat fish and other stuff you manage to catch. No cannibals here. But with the next patch, who knows? Resident Evil 2. This is a complete remake of a classic game. Overwhelmingly positive review score softly hints that it was a complete success as well. Resident Evil 2 offers a fresh take on a classic survival horror saga with realistic visuals, immersive audio and a new over-the-shoulder camera. You will also get modernized controls on top of gameplay modes from the original game. I can still remember when I played the original game when I was 14 years old, and somehow I had my mental balls big enough to play it every evening after school. Well, on those rare occasions when I actually went to school. I'm a YouTuber not because I was very good at studying, you know, but I was good at games. That's why you should avoid me if you need your appendix surgically removed, but if you want your boredom removed, I'm your guy, that's for sure. Steelrising. Basically, if you like dark fantasy and hate France, it's a game for you. Nah, I'm obviously kidding, I love France. But here the country is in ruins and only you can save French people and beat the oil and screws out of the bodies of bloodthirsty robots. So what happened here? Why are there so many automatons running in Paris and killing everyone left and right? Well, of course, because of the evil king Louis XVI. He made an army of robots and started to terrorize citizens just because he can. And because the king doesn't want history to unfold unfold just like it unfolded in our reality. He was so unpopular that he was executed by guillotine, and after his death, France became a republic. By the way, fun fact, after his head was cut off, the cheering crowd rushed towards his dead body with the hopes to soak his blood into the napkins. You know, as a souvenir. Such a napkin nowadays would be worth a fortune. No doubt, imagine you could probably even clone the king from it and claim the throne of France once again. That is one dangerous napkin. Anyway, people on Steam are saying that Steelrising is a fun steampunk-themed Souls-like game in which you can tweak combat difficulty, so it is more friendly for casual players. But the game lacks optimization. Some gamers say it stutters even on modern PCs, but that is not an issue for everyone, although it's often enough for it to drop the game's score to only mostly positive. Darkwood. If you could imagine a Lovecraftian forest with all the horrors in it, Darkwood checks all the marks. It is heavily inspired by, for example, Color Out of Space, and even has some Easter eggs in this field. When I played it, I felt that creators probably took a lot of inspiration from Stephen King as well, who is himself a fan of Lovecraft, and you can feel the influence in many of his novels, starting from madness-infusing Shining to the horrors of the unknown in The Mist. So the Darkwood makes you feel that you are trying to survive in one of these stories. Creepy monsters, inhabitants and ever-changing woods surround you every step. By day you collect resources and explore the area, but by night you must barricade yourself in a safe place because various beasts of horror will try to make you, less alive. So every night is a battle for survival, and every day is another chance to make your fortress stronger. Story is great, the gameplay is great, and the game is simply a must-play. Control Ultimate Edition. A corruptive presence has invaded the Federal Bureau of Control, and only you have the power to stop it. The world around you is now your weapon in an epic fight to annihilate an ominous enemy across the deep and unpredictable environments. Containment has failed, humanity is at stake, so it's time to kick some paranormal ass. SCP vibes are really strong here. To be fair, this game feels like you are in a dream all the time. Well, nightmare to be exact, because everything is changing all the time and not for good. The game is not scary, but it's ominous, that's for sure. People on Steam are saying that the story is very good, the game itself is out of the ordinary, and it has some really cool puzzles to solve. So a bit of everything for everyone.
And now, thank you for watching, but before you go, I want to remind you that you can support me on Ko-fi and, buy me potato salad if you feel generous. Bye.